We are officially back with another episode of All Access with the Profs, live from Bozorth Hall on the campus of Rowan University. I'm Jordan Weisinger, and it has been a while since we've been able to talk about Rowan sports, but for good reason. We all hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. In the comment section, make sure to list what you're thankful for this year. We last left off the women's basketball team with an update from their Messiah tip-off tournament. They started the season 1-1, and since our last season episode, they played 3 games at Brooklyn College, home against Montclair State to open up NJAC play, and at Gwynedd Mercy last night. Let's see how the ladies did in their 3-game stretch. Here is Kaden Murphy for more.
In the past 2 weeks, the Rowan's women's basketball team looked to take a step in the right direction following their 1-1 start on the year. With big-time games against Brooklyn College, Montclair State University, and Gwynedd Mercy University, the Profs look to improve their record above 500. Continuing their play on Friday, November 22nd, Rowan squared off against the Brooklyn College Bulldogs in a close match. Charlotte Carlisle had a career-high 18 points as Jess Mastriano matched that stat. Christina Johnson added on to their totals with a double-double, dropping 13 points of her own and dishing out 10 assists in the game. Despite the efforts of the Profs, however, Amia Daniels' 22-point night and Dior Dorsey's strong fourth-quarter finish led Brooklyn College to a 73-71 victory, knocking the Profs down to 1-2 on the year. Looking to bounce back from that loss, the team took on Montclair State in their home opener last Tuesday. In comfortable fashion, Rowan steamrolled the Redhawks in their first game of NJAC play this season. Christina Johnson led the charge with 14 points, followed by Sabrina Arujo, who tacked on 13 of her own. Defensively, Shayla Johnson dominated, pulling down 8 rebounds and recording 2 blocks on the night. The Profs started off hot and never looked back in this one, leading them to a team-defining 75-45 victory. As Rowan had their eyes on starting their potential first win streak of the year, they traveled over to Pennsylvania last night to take on the Gwynedd Mercy Griffins. While the game had a close start with the Profs leading 21-15 after the first quarter, that didn't last long as the team managed to hold Gwynedd Mercy to only 3 points in the second quarter. Led by none other than guard Kate Hurley and her 23 points, Rowan rode this momentum until the very end of the game. With a final score of 77-38, the Profs seem to be heading in the right direction as they improve their record to 3-2 after the Thanksgiving break. With the Rowan women's basketball team capturing back-to-back blowout wins, they look to continue that success here in SB Gym tomorrow against a 4-2 Rutgers Camden squad. I'm Kaden Murphy with All Access with the Profs. Back to you, Jordan.
Same sport, but now we pass it to the men's team. Since our last show and since their win over Eastern on November 13th, the men's team have only played 1 game. That game opened up NJAC play against Montclair State. The women's team was able to open the doubleheader against the Redhawks with a win. Are the men able to replicate their outcome after nearly 2 weeks off? Here is Jake Kitchen for more on the men's game against Montclair State.
I'm here in SB Gym, where the Profs started their Thanksgiving off early this past Wednesday by stuffing the Montclair State Redhawks 107-102. The Profs were led by senior forward Danny Fleming, who had a career-high 26 points in the win. The first half was all in Rowan's favor as they went to the break with a 15-point lead. This margin was built by the Profs' 3-point sharpshooting as they shot a staggering 8 for 12 from beyond the arc. The second half didn't equal the first as the Profs only scored 41 points compared to the Redhawks' 51. But that didn't matter too much because of the strong play by Danny Fleming, who was accompanied by Khalif Mears and Tyrese Myrick, where the trio scored a combined 88 points for the Profs. The Profs start off 1-0 in conference play and bring the overall record back to 500 after starting the season off 0-2. The next game will be here at home on Wednesday against Rutgers Camden, where they look to extend their winning streak to 3. For All Access with the Profs, I'm Jay Kitchen, sending it back to the studio.
The men's and women's teams were both able to beat Montclair State for the men's and women's doubleheader. Both teams combined for a record of 3-1 since the last episode of All Access with the Profs. Up next, we have our informative calendar segment with Jake Clark. What's on the forecast, Jake?
Thanks, Jordan. I'm Jake Clark, back with another week of Rowan Athletics. 2 Fridays ago, on November 22nd, women's basketball lost to Brooklyn College 73-71. Charlotte Carlisle had 18 points in the loss. Also on Friday and over the weekend, men's and women's swim went to the Franklin and Marshall Invitational. Both teams progressively got better throughout the weekend, with the men finishing in 2nd and the women finishing in 5th. Running back to 2 Saturdays ago on the 23rd, the women's cross-country team competed in the NCAA Championships in Indiana and didn't have as much success as they had earlier in the postseason, securing the 32nd spot out of 32 teams. Last Tuesday, both men's and women's basketball secured victories over the Redhawks of Montclair State. The women's team played first and won by a final score of 75-45. 4 Profs got into double figures in the game. Christina Johnson led all scorers with 14 points, followed by Sabrina Arujo, who netted 13. Kate Hurley and Charlotte Carleys had scored 11 points in the win. The men's team beat Montclair State 107-102. Senior forward Danny Fleming had a career-high 26 points to help push the Profs past the Redhawks. Taz Canny scored 22 points, and Tyrese Myrick added 20 points off the bench. After all teams had off for Thanksgiving, women's basketball got back on the court against Gwynedd Mercy with a commanding 77-38 win. Kate Hurley led Rowan with 23 points, 5 assists, and 3 steals to notch win number 3 on the season. So a light week for Rowan Athletics this week, but we'll look to see the action for next week. Both men's and women's basketball will host Rutgers Camden on Wednesday for an NJAC matchup. Thursday, all teams have off, but Friday, winter track season begins with the fast track opener in Staten Island, New York. Men's and women's swim will hit the road to travel to Baltimore to compete against Johns Hopkins on Friday as well. On Saturday, men's and women's basketball will be at NJCU, and winter track has a quick turnaround, competing at the TCNJ Open. So with the new slate of exciting matchups, my highlight game of the week will have to be men's basketball versus Rutgers Camden. After coming off a tight win against Montclair State, the Profs look to continue their win streak in NJAC play against the 5-2 Rutgers Camden team. Rowan's Danny Fleming and Khalif Mears will certainly be players to watch out for, with both of them averaging over 15 points per game. Rowan has a tough matchup ahead of them on Wednesday against the solid Rutgers Camden team, and for that reason, it's my highlight game of the week. So that wraps up this calendar week for Rowan Athletics. I'm Jake Clark, and now it's time for Carrie Letizia and our interactive segment. Carrie?
Thanks, Jake. I'm Carrie Letizia. Alongside me is Ajax Smith-Pearson from Rowan Skateboard Club, and you're also the risk manager as well?
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
No problem.
So, first and foremost, how do you get involved in the skateboard club? When do you guys meet? All that general information.
So you can get involved through ProfLink, and you can also follow our Instagram, Rowan Skateboarding Club, and we meet about once a month in Discovery Hall, actually, and we just go over our newest events and stuff like that during those meetings.
Okay, and then when do you guys get together to skateboard? Like you said that you, before, when we were talking before this, you said that you guys have like events, right?
Yeah, we have events. This semester we already had our event. It was the Skate Jam with Rowan TV Network, not Rowan TV, sorry, with Rowan Alt, and we want to have one in the spring with Rowan Alt as well, and it's just where you can skate with music and buy stuff from our vendors.
That's awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun. So
it is.
First and foremost, when did you start skateboarding? How did you get involved?
So I've been skateboarding on and off since I was like 12, and I mostly started getting into skateboarding again the end of my senior year of high school, back in 2021.
Oh, wow. So you stopped for a little bit. Why'd you stop?
Because my board broke really bad. I split it in half.
Oh.
You know the Vine where he like throws the phone on the ground? And that's what I did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's lovely. Do you want to show me how you skateboard? How do I get on? I don't know anything.
Yeah, of course. So to get on, it's really easily. It depends on which foot you push off with. If you push off with your left, that's the goofy style. I don't push off with my left. I put my left right up at the front of the deck, and then you just step right back on.
Okay, I think you made it look very easy, and I don't think I'm going to...
Oh, it's
not
okay.
gonna be that simple
I
for
promise you got this.
Okay, I think I'm the goofy side, so I put my right foot forward.
All right, so yeah, you put your right foot forward right there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you just swing your other foot right in the behind. You got on.
Okay.
So do you want to learn how to push, or do you want to kind of wobble there?
I'll wobble here for a second.
Okay.
How do you turn and actually manipulate the board like this?
So you just lean. When you're cruising, basically, your other foot, this foot right here, your left foot, will be turned like your the foot in the back is. So.
Oh, so my front foot will go.
Yes.
Like this.
And then you just heels is to go right, and toes is to go left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Try not to fall off here. Okay.
And then once you get more comfortable, you can just.
It's like I'm
kinda
surfing
groove.
here.
Yeah.
Surfing on the ground. Okay, so then how do I actually go? First of all, you go and then you quickly
Yeah. Yeah, you can just get used to doing like that.
Oh gosh.
With the grip tape, it's easier because you won't slip off the board.
Oh, okay.
So trust. It's a new skateboard too, so.
Perfect. Okay, so how do I go?
All right, so just put your foot back on the ground, the one you push off with, and you just push. Just do small baby push first.
I'm so nervous.
Your foot's in the right position. Yeah. You just
Oh,
do
gosh.
that, but get a little bit more momentum in you.
All right, we gotta try again.
Careful. Make sure your that foot always goes in front because you will fall.
Okay, don't want to fall. Okay.
Ooh, you got on really easily.
Ooh, I'm like a professional now.
Oh, you might as well be Tony Hawk.
I don't know what that means.
He's a professional skateboarder. So here, I'll get on the board and I'll push.
Okay.
So I push with my right. So you just.
Oh yeah, you made that look a lot simpler than I did. Well, thank you so much for joining us on All Access with the Profs. Yeah, absolutely. I'm Carrie Letizia with your interaction segment. Back to you, Jordan.
Thank you, Carrie, and once again, fabulous work interviewing members of various clubs here at Rowan. That is going to do it for this semester's penultimate episode of All Access with the Profs. We have all been so appreciative of the viewers who tune in each and every week, such as my own parents and Jake's grandparents, Dick and Donna. Tune in next week for the season finale of All Access with the Profs for the 2024 fall semester. I'm Jordan Weisinger, signing off.